Traction control is a safety feature fitted to most modern vehicles, which has been a legal mandatory requirement in the UK since 2011 and has been around in some form for much longer than that. Its concept is simple: to help maintain grip between your car's tires and the road surface. The earliest traction control systems began popping up in 1970s, but these were not effective, and the fact that they were only available on expensive high-end cars made them very rare. It was not until the early 1990s before these systems became more finesse and widespread. In essence, the purpose of traction control is to eliminate or at least significantly reduce wheel spin to minima, thereby giving the wheels optimum performance. Wheel spin occurs when the level of turning force being applied to a wheel exceeds the level of friction that the tire has on the road surface. If a wheel is spinning, it no longer has effective purpose on the road surface. In slippery driving conditions such as rain, snow, or ice, this can happen easily and all of a sudden. You can also associate wheel spin with trying to accelerate too hard and traction control setting to optimally bring the driving wheels under control. Wheel spin becomes more dangerous when it happens mid-corner because it can make your car to skid away from its intended steering line. A spinning front wheel can induce understeer, that is, where the front end runs wide and doesn't respond enough to your steering inputs, while a spinning rear wheel can induce oversteer, that is, where the rear end tries to rotate more than it should, of which both can be very dangerous on the road. Your car's traction control system will automatically turn on when you turn on your car's ignition and will always be running in the background unless you make the conscious effort to switch it off. As you drive, the system uses sensors on each wheel, the same ones used by the anti-lock braking system or ABS, to monitor how quickly your wheels are spinning relatively to each other and relatively to the speed of the car. If one wheel is significantly spinning faster than the others, it means it has lost traction. Once wheel spin is detected, the system intervenes to slow down the spinning wheel, either by limiting engine power to the wheel in question, by applying a small amount of braking to the wheel, or both. And it doesn't matter whether your car is a front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, or all wheel drive, the principle is the same. Most modern and sophisticated traction control systems do this in a very subtle way that you might not even be able to detect its intervention at all, except for a visible flashing traction control light on the dashboard to show you that it's acting to help keep wheel spin at bay. With older or less sophisticated systems, you might feel a small hesitation in power delivery or a brief mechanical vibration underneath the car, a bit like the one you feel through the brake pedal when your ABS kicks in. Conventionally, traction control symbol is usually in the shape of a car with two wiggling lines beneath it, and it's usually illuminated in orange color in some cars, while letters may also be used in place of the symbol, like TC, TCS, or something similar. It illuminates when you first start your car to inform you that the system is operational, and then goes out after a few seconds. If the light doesn't go out and stays illuminated, it means there is a problem with the system and should be checked by a professional in that field as soon as possible. Traction control can be turned off, but it's not advisable, as it is an important safety feature that helps make the road safer for everyone. Turning it off means you instantly run a greater risk of skidding, and it does not matter how good a driver you are. Your traction control system will always act faster and more effectively to a potential skid or danger than you can. However, the instance you might want to consider turning it off is when the conditions are so slippery that your car gets stuck, like in snow, ice, or deep mud. A bit of wheel spin can be useful for gaining enough momentum to free the car, and this can be done with a button found somewhere inside the cabin. It carries the same symbol as the traction control lights on the dashboard. Most cars require you to press and hold the button for some seconds, and it is so that you don't unintentionally disable the system if you brush the button accidentally. And in most modern cars, turning the system off might be done within the menus of infotainment system instead. To crown it all, since traction control is designed to help keep wheel spin at bay, I would admonish you to keep your car's traction control system on during most driving scenarios and only turn it off when necessary. Also ensure that your tires are in good condition and properly inflated for optimal grip. However, even with traction control, it is crucial to drive at a speed appropriate for the road conditions and your driving abilities in order not to cause pains to your family when the chips are down or end the lifespan of another road user. When next we meet, I'll be explaining details front engine 4-wheel drive and front engine all-wheel drive. Once again, thanks for watching.